What's good, guys? It's Batman. We're doing another Naruto reaction today, and we're going to be checking out with this particular title in the video. Let me scroll up and get rid of that. It is Naruto was 100% a Prodigy, and this is actually really funny and interesting because way back then, and I'll put, if I can find the reactions, I'll put them in the description down below too. But way back then, there was like a whole big thing and whatnot, like a whole big debate going on with like NC Hammer and Swag Kage, where NC Hammer was like Naruto was a Prodigy, while Swag was like Naruto wasn't a Prodigy, and yada yada yada. Everybody always had their stances or took their side. It was kind of like some Marvel Civil War type shit, you know, Team Iron Man, Team Cap, right? You know, that's basically what this topic and concept is. It was pretty controversial and pretty interesting. Now, as you guys know from my side of it, okay, it depends on your perception of certain things, and depending on what we're discussing and talking about, I feel like there's not really a right or no answer with this particular topic, and you could say yes or no. But for the most part, in a general consensus, I would say Naruto was definitely not a Prodigy. I feel like there's a lot of statements that contradict that and, you know, and prove that. And just how Naruto starts as a ninja, etc. Just everything, right? As a whole, it was very, very, very apparent that he was not a fucking Prodigy. You know what I mean? That he was. Like, you could argue, like, in the end he becomes one, maybe, but, like, to say he is at all times or he was inherently blah blah, you name it, like because there's literally contradicting evidence for that. An example of a Prodigy is Minato, Itachi, etc., right? So we're gonna get into this. I don't know who this is, but it's a guy called Tony Stadovisi. We're gonna check him out. Make sure to give him my love and support as well. Check out his YouTube. He probably has all kinds of great content as well. But we're gonna check him out, and without further ado, let's get it.
Naruto wasn't a Prodigy. We had a whole, matter of fact, I'm gonna make this a YouTube video. Naruto was 1,000% a Prodigy. And if you disagree, it's because you're a dumb guy. It's because you're a dumb, stupid guy, and you're dumb. Let me just explain to you guys what Naruto did.
Damn, Swag. Damn. For anyone.
We'll just go in the timeline of things. Boom. We see Naruto in the academy, and we see Mizuki, right? I believe that was his name. And Mizuki's like, yo, Naruto, Pete, check it. I need you to take this scroll because the scroll is the last step to you becoming a Genin, right? Take the scroll, give me the scroll, you become a Genin.
I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of bad for like where he's already going into, because if we're talking about part one, Naruto was not a Prodigy. That motherfucker had the worst grades, was horrible, failed multiple times, you know. Struggle with ninjutsu, the worst chakra control in comparison to Sakura and Sasuke. The list goes on, yada, 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 yada. Okay? That motherfucker severely got carried by the Nine Tails, okay? And because he was the reincarnation of Ashura. Like, that carried him in many, many other aspects. But as a whole, he was not a fucking Prodigy. He was a fucking trash ninja. Bro. Naruto even said it himself. He was a failure in comparison to someone like Neji, who was an actual genius, an actual Prodigy, right? You know, and the whole rivalry between him and Sasuke, you know, the failure, hard work against, you know, raw talent, right? Like, I'm sorry, but you're talking about like the worst version to advocate for your stance. If you want to talk about like, you know, Sage Naruto up, you know, Kishi Naruto, things like that, Six Pass Naruto, I'm all ears. That could be understanding and whatnot. But you're over here talking about part one Naruto, which is blatantly, he's not a Prodigy. If he was, he would have succeeded on rescuing Sasuke.
And Naruto says, bet, takes the scroll, learns a forbidden jutsu, shadow clone jutsu. He's 10, not even a ninja yet, and makes like 1,000. And you can say, oh, well, but actually, the reason why he did that was because he had the nine-tailed fox. Yeah, the reason that fucking the Uchihas can copy jutsu and the thing that makes them prodigies are because they have Sharingan. Shut it up, right? Shut it up. So then, boom, we got that. We got Naruto fighting.
That's also not true, because Obito was an example. He had the Sharingan, whatever, but he was not a Prodigy. He was actually very similar to Naruto, fucking trash, and yet the whole nine, etc., etc. And it wasn't until, like, because of the Warren states, he actually became a formidable ninja because he was forced to train, be in harsh environments, be in war all the fucking time, crazy missions and whatnot, the whole fucking nine, etc., right? You know, so, like, at the end of the day, you know, just got to put it out there, okay? That wouldn't work either. That actually that's not the case. We have many examples of that. Obito, and there's even other Uchiha that they were Uchiha, but they either never awakened the Sharingan, or even with their Sharingan, they were just fodders, right? Like, irrelevant to the story, you know? Just side characters that just to be killed off or whatever, or never appear and be around and make a difference within the story. So that's not true either, you know? Now, if you're talking about the Sharingan eye itself, where that's just like, you know, and like that's just raw, you know, like just, you know, genetics and hacks, whatever, blah, blah, you name it, and that has nothing to do with, you know, caliber as a shinobi, and like that aspect alone is what makes you like a prodigy or whatever. Sure, in a certain consensus, but again, as a whole, if we're talking for the ninja itself or whatever, no, that wouldn't work, right? So that would also apply for the Nine Tails shit. Like, yeah, Naruto has the Nine Tails, but he couldn't use the Nine Tails. He couldn't actually start tapping into that power until he started training with Jiraiya. Okay, and it wasn't unless he either like almost got killed, or he had like extreme like fucking traumatic emotions, right, to where then he could tap into it. But it was more of like the Nine Tails taking advantage of that to weaken the seal, so he would give him his chakra, and then it would transform Naruto, and then Naruto would do whatever he does, right? But again, that was more of like a, you know, a plot device that, you know, is around Naruto, because typically MCs always have some crazy thing about them, right? You know, that was what Naruto was. But main point being said, even with the Nine Tails power, it actually did the opposite. It like inhibited it, like it fucked up his chakra control. It made things a million times more harder, right? The Nine Tails fucked with him a lot, okay? And even with the 8 of the Nine Tails or whatever, he lost. He always fucking loses. he literally always loses, you know? So that's inherently just not really the case either for the Nine Tails. Like, again, that's a whole other thing, and I can go further and further on that, but at least with the Sharingan example you brought up, that's just not really a good thing to say as an actual good example in order to advocate for the position that he's advocating for, right? You know, but
Mizuki beating Mizuki, a Chunin, okay, winning.
Dove, man plus kid.
Yeah, he beat Mizuki because of a mental amp and the aid of the Nine Tails. For Naruto himself, that has nothing to do of his caliber as a shinobi and ninja and him being a prodigy. Like, again, what's in question is Naruto a prodigy? Naruto himself? No. With the things that he's given, that allowed him to do things that he typically wouldn't be able to do. So
Defense, though. And I need you to handle them so I can put the hammer and the nail together and make this bridge. Naruto goes back. Little did Naruto know, brother is fighting the Harbinger of Death, fucking Zabuza Momochi. Alright? And you know who Zabuza has on his side? That bad bitch, fucking Haku. You know? No, I'm playing. And fucking Haku, fucking...
that Haku statement was insane, I'm not gonna lie. That was crazy.
And Haku was fucking, like Anbu Black Ops level. Haku, it's a child. Haku's a baby. Man, I'm not trying to hear none of that, man. Naruto came out in like 2000, and Haku was like 16 in 2002. I was 2. So by age, whatever. Anyways, beat Haku. You can say it was with the Naruto 5. That's why he's a prodigy, right? We can even wipe away Kurama, right? And we'll fast forward to Shippuden. Naruto.
This is how I know, like, what was really ironic how he was calling people that were advocating the opposite stance against or whatever and saying that Naruto's not a prodigy. What's hilarious that he says, like, where he calls people dumb, whatever. This is how I know he's fucking dumb, okay? And clearly has no debating skills, no critical thinking, whatever, blah, blah, because what he's disregarding is context. The only reason why Naruto even beat Haku to begin with is because he was extremely fatigued, okay? He did not want to kill Naruto and Sasuke. He was holding back the entire time, and then to the point where he gave them an opportunity to be overpowered and defeated, okay? That's the first thing. Tons of evidence to substantiate and support that. 2, Kakashi himself, who is stronger than Naruto, even with the Nine Tails, okay, flat out said there's going to be young people, okay, there's going to be people younger than you, okay, and stronger than me, okay, flat out saying Haku was stronger than both of them combined, you know, younger, stronger than both, whatever, blah, blah, right? So, like, that's just not true at all, okay? So I just want to kind of put that out there. Naruto wasn't even stronger than fucking Zabuza, you know? And then before you go be like, oh, with the QB, whatever, that doesn't fucking matter because Kakashi in Shippuden, the beginning of Shippuden, while Naruto's in the QB state where the seal is even more weaker and meaning more QB chakra, etc., whatever, blah, blah, meaning more of a stronger amp, and the time skip where he's training on top of it was still weaker than that Kakashi, okay? And he has way of a larger chakra pool than Kakashi. And Kakashi was able to speed blitz keeping Naruto multiple times to stop him from charging Deidara or Sasori, whatever, blah, blah, yada, yada, yada. You know, he's never, ever been superior than Kakashi until, okay, Sage Mode. That's the only time. Sage Mode arc is when he finally was able to, like, in theory, surpass Kakashi, right? But you could argue maybe Kamo, he could still give, like, Kakashi the W, whatever. But overall, as a whole, as a caliber versus Shinobi, that's when he actually surpassed him. Because he even surpassed Jiraiya, and at that point in time, Kakashi wasn't above Jiraiya. The only thing that was above Jiraiya was his Compli, you know? So, again, very ironic where he's calling everybody else dumb, but there he goes being dumb and, like, just not even, like, actually analyzing the whole situation with Haku and Naruto correctly. So, again, that wouldn't work either. That just doesn't follow through to support why you would say Prodigy. Oh, if you Haku, no, context. That doesn't go through.
Naruto became a full-fledged sage. Something that Jiraiya couldn't do, something that Orochimaru couldn't do. And Naruto did it at 15. He wasn't even 16 yet. Excuse me? Full-fledged sage?
Again, context. Really, really important. So Jiraiya, for one, was very similar to Naruto, a knucklehead, not a prodigy, okay, a failure basically, right? And had to work his ass off to get everything he could potentially get. Okay, so that's why Jiraiya couldn't fucking do it. And if Jiraiya had way more time, he would have accomplished it. He would have. Because he actually was very, very good with Sage Mode. Even Fugaku had high praise for him, even though it was an incomplete Sage Mode. Okay? Alright. Orochimaru, who was a genius in Prodigy, the reason why he couldn't do it was because his body was not strong enough and compatible. Orochimaru was still a prodigy and a fucking genius, right? It was the same exact dynamic with Sasuke and Naruto, but just opposite. It was with Jiraiya and Orochimaru. Jiraiya was the failure, right? The ding dong, the doofus. Okay, the no talent, no nothing, right? The failure. Sasuke was Orochimaru was the genius, the prodigy, who could just do shit effortlessly, right? You know, the whole 9 blah blah, right? Okay, so like, if you take his argument and you take his logic and his thinking, that means, okay, because Orochimaru couldn't acquire Sage Mode because his body was not capable of doing it, like biologically, his anatomy, all that shit, things he has no control over. That's like saying I'm not a fucking a prodigy because I'm short, right? And I'm not tall. That makes no fucking sense. That has nothing to do with me as an individual or whether or not if I'm extremely talented in things in my life, right? Or I could just do things drastically easier than any other person on the planet. You know, like that doesn't actually engage what's in question. So again, that doesn't make sense and doesn't follow through either. So all because his body was not compatible to do that doesn't mean, you know, there you go, right? Like Orochimaru, if his body was compatible and strong enough, he would have easily became a sage. He's a fucking genius. The guy has learned every forbidden jutsu. He has done all kinds of crazy shit. Perfected Edo Tensei. Like, he's done all kinds of shit. You know what I mean? And surpassed Tobirama. Like, all these actual... Like, bro, the guy is no joke, right? Like, all 5 chakra natures. Like, the epitome of a fucking genius, okay? So, that doesn't work. That doesn't follow through. And if anything, it's extremely ironic and just further, like, he's digging his grave because he's talking about Orochimaru, who is literally a prodigy, right? And then trying to be like, oh, well, he couldn't do this, so, you know, yeah, you know, but Naruto could. Naruto only could do it because of how hard he works, right? He just works hard. He doesn't give up. And 2, he's the only ninja to where he can cast a shit ton of shadow clones because of his chakra or whatever, blah, blah, okay? To where he could speed up the learning process. To where literally, like, what it would take for, like, an average person, like with the Rising Shuriken training, for an example. You know, like, Kakashi said along the lines, like, oh, you know, for someone with your intelligence and your caliber, whatever, if they're training on their own, whatever, blah, blah, it would take them years upon years upon years. But because you could do all these shadow clones, you're, like, drastically reducing that time, and therefore, like, it would only take you, like, weeks or a couple days instead. You know what I mean? Because you're able to, you know, do that, whatever, blah, blah. So, again, like, Naruto only accomplishes the deeds that he accomplishes through hard work and because he has certain plot devices, basically. Like, if you want to say, like, Naruto is, like, carried by the plot, that's fine and all. But to sit here and say, oh, Naruto's a prodigy because he has, you know, an enormous amount of chakra because of being Asura's reincarnation, or aka the Nine Tails, whatever, blah, like, that's completely separate. That just allows him to do things that typically he wouldn't be able to do. Like, for instance, that, like, Sasuke is an example, right? You know, or not even. Kakashi is an example. Like, Kakashi can't do as many shadow clones as Naruto, right? You know, or he can't like do like, you know, like the time training thing that he does, you know, to speed up your training and your learning capacity, whatever, blah. He can't do that because he doesn't have a shit ton of chakra. But if he did, he could do the same fucking thing, but even tremendously better because he's actually super intelligent and an actual genius in Prodigy. You know what I mean? Like, so again, like, all because a character doesn't have certain benefits doesn't take away from who they are inherently. That's what I'm basically saying, right? Kakashi would still be a prodigy and genius. He just lacks the resources and the benefits of what someone else could have that he just doesn't have, right? And therefore, he has to make up for that in other regards, whatever, or AKA with his prodigy caliber, right? With Naruto, very stupid, not super intelligent, not a genius, not a prodigy. It's literally emphasized throughout the entirety of the fucking narrative, okay? While he literally needs these backpack elements, aka the Nine Tails, aka the reincarnation and enormous amount of chakra he has, right? You know, and all this bullshit, you know? So I'm just saying, bro, like, again, context is extremely important, and all because a character has certain benefits or perks doesn't mean, therefore, it takes away from who they are inherently. Doesn't mean you're not a loser still, or it doesn't mean you're not a genius still, you know? You just, reality-wise, you just can't do A, B, C, you know, abilities or performances or traits because you just lack A, B, C, whatever, right? That's it.
Shikaku himself said if Naruto really is a sage, he's on a completely other level now. That Naruto? Oh, you're talking about the Naruto that fought 6 paths of pain pretty much dully? Konohamaru came in and he snuck one, and I'll give Konohamaru that. Didn't he get help from the Sage of 6 Paths? And so, and I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, Naruto got help from the Sage of 6 Paths. You want to know why? Because so did Madara. Madara didn't come out and was like, yo, I got the Rinnegan. I'm going beast mode right now. Do y'all want to know what made Madara have to unlock his ability, his Rinnegan ability? His name is Naruto. If y'all remember, Naruto caught him. He caught him on the upswing. He threw the Rasen Shuriken at him, and Madara said, oh shit, that's about to hit me. Power up. Power up. How did he get that power up, you say? Because it wasn't because Madara was like that. Madara didn't unlock the Sharingan. Madara got it by sucking on Hashirama juice and metabolized it, and then he was good. So yeah, Naruto got a little help along the way. So did Madara. Did we forget that Madara was undead? That he had infinite chakra and Naruto was going toe-to-toe with him? Boom, on to the next. Why is Naruto not a prodigy? Because...
So, just want to wait till you finish. That's not true at all. For one, Madara was fighting the entirety of the Alliance. Gaara, and then Naruto's Shadow Clone intervened, and Naruto was able to throw a Rising Shuriken, and because Madara was just fucking around and just dancing and just flexing his power, whatever, for one, Madara wasn't even going all out. He was just having a good time fucking everybody up, you know? So again, context is a thing. But because he wasn't going all out and he's just fucking around or whatever, there was an opportunity that Naruto was able to exploit, right? So it was a Rising Shuriken. And I'm going to be honest with you. If Madara did Wood Style, if he did his Perfect Susanoo, or even a Susanoo transformation, he could have done all kinds of shit to get out of that situation, right? He didn't necessarily have to do the Rinnegan, but he just does the Rinnegan because he's like, you know what? Oh, there's like a big ass fucking thing coming at me. Let me just absorb that shit and get even, you know, more stronger technically, and just be able to flex, you know, that I have a Rinnegan, you know, because again, Madara is a fucking asshole. He was a cocky ass fucking flexing badass, you know what I mean? Like he was just that guy, you know. So that doesn't, you know, I'm just saying that doesn't help. So that's kind of stupid. And again, the only reason why Naruto was even able to do that was because, again, has nothing to do with him as a ninja, of him, because he was always a loser, okay? It was because he had an enormous amount of fucking chakra, which allowed him to even learn the Rising Shuriken, okay? And 2, he also had Sage Mode, which again, because of everything before as well, you know, you name it, and getting training from Fugaku, okay? If he never trained with Fugaku, he would have never knew fucking Sage Mode. So again, there's a lot of variables and a lot of reasons why Naruto is able to accomplish what he's able to accomplish, which is all nothing but support and assistance, okay? That is not examples of a prodigy. That is not examples of, oh, like Naruto's just that guy. No, that is the opposite. That is him needing non-stop support and help to accomplish things he would never be able to accomplish. If it wasn't for Kakashi doing the training he did with Naruto and showing him how to use his shadow clones, blah, 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 he would have never had the Rising Shuriken. If it wasn't for everything that happened with Jiraiya and then with Fugaku on to train Naruto and all this shit, whatever, blah, he would have never got Sage Mode. Okay, meaning that whole Madara moment and all that bullshit, that would have never fucking happened. Okay, and then with anything else that happened with Madara, again, because of the Nine Tails, completely separate from Naruto. like again, it's just stupid logic like that doesn't engage Naruto himself inherently. Okay, and what he actually brings to the table and what he can actually do. That's like saying Boruto's not a prodigy because he needed the karma or Momoshiki, to save the day when he couldn't, accomplish whatever he's trying to accomplish. No, the motherfucker's still a prodigy. He just lost, and then now he has a plot device to save the fucking day. Like, it's just simple critical thinking, bro. Like, I don't know. I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. Like, and here's what's crazy. Like, there are ways to, like, actually have contentious arguments or actually, like, argue things that actually are good, right, for the opposing side. Like, I'm not even saying that's not possible either, or this isn't contentious or whatever, but the shit he's saying is the most stupidest shit. Like, easily debunkable and doesn't even engage with the premise that he has of Naruto was 100% a prodigy. Like, no, bro, the narrative shows the opposite. Part 1 shows the opposite. And anytime he gets a W was because of the Nine Tails, okay? Or because the alien bullshit, okay? Or, aka, him having a ridiculous amount of fucking chakra because he's the reincarnation of Ashura, right? And he's able to do things that other people can't do. And again, he only accomplishes even those things because it took other people to help him. Not Naruto, other people, okay? An actual example of a prodigy, an actual example, Minato. The motherfucker made the Rasengan. No help, no assistance. He fucking made it. Did it himself, okay? An actual prodigy or intelligent person, Tobirama, makes Flying Raijin, makes Shadow Clones, makes the Edo Tensei. Himself. No help, no assistance, no nothing, okay? That is an actual example of a prodigy or being like, whatever, blah, blah, okay? Like, I don't understand, like, people's thought processes on this shit. Like, another example, Itachi, breaking every fucking rule or record in the book, okay? When he's a kid, 4 years old, on a war battlefield, okay, killing ninjas and shit, and then just doing everything else he does afterwards. With no help, okay? He's just him, right? That's a prodigy, right? You know what I mean? But yet, but here we go. Let me take his mentality. I guess because, Itachi, he can't do, like, all the Shadow Clones Naruto could do, you know what I mean? And he can't, like, have his, like, training time efficiency thing. Therefore, I guess Itachi's not a prodigy now. You know what I mean? Like, no, bro. Like, it's so stupid. It's just he just doesn't have certain resources and benefits that Naruto has, right? And if he did, that motherfucker would be unstoppable, right? In comparison to Naruto, So, again, like, it's just really silly. It's very, very fucking silly, but...
He did all of this at 16 years old. 16 years old. Kakashi Hatake, the copy ninja, the son of the White Fang. The White Fang was stronger than the Sannin. That's canon.
その親父さんの前では伝説の3人のナスラ霞むほどだった。
Kakashi Hatake said, Naruto, you have beat me. And it was before Naruto even. It was when Naruto fought Kakazu and Hidan. Oh! Naruto fought Hidan and won! You talking about the guy with 5 horses?
So, that's also not true. Again, context. He keeps disregarding context. Kakazu was getting jumped by everybody. Okay? By Team Asaba, by Kakashi, with intel against them, etc., etc., etc. Okay? A lot of context goes into play of why even Kakashi was even pushed that far to begin with, okay? 2, with the whole surpassing statement that he's bringing up about Naruto, that's also incorrect because Kakashi literally says that he surpassed him, whatever, with his Raisen Shuriken, his ninjutsu. Not him himself, but his Raisen Shuriken. And literally tells Naruto, right after that fight, that you have not surpassed me. You know what I mean? That I'm still stronger than you. He literally says that, like, when they're eating a ramen at the shop or whatever, and tells him, and he literally says that he could have beaten Kakashi with his MS if it boiled down to it, if he never showed up. But he flat out told Naruto that he has not surpassed him yet or whatever, blah. It's actually stated the opposite, whatever, etc., etc. Kakashi was still over this particular Naruto, and it makes sense. His intelligence, his caliber as a ninja, his kamui, his hacks, etc., right? So yeah, it makes sense why Kakashi wouldn't be able to beat, or why Naruto wouldn't be able to beat that Kakashi. He was particularly talking about the Raisen Shuriken. and him being able to accomplish something beyond, okay, an A-rank jutsu and turn it into an S-rank jutsu and do something that not even the fourth Hokage was able to accomplish because, again, Minato didn't have enough time. If Minato had more time, then he would have been able to do it too, okay? So, at the end of the day, you know, just putting this out there, okay? Just saying, context is a thing, and he continues to disregard it. So, that doesn't work either, you know?
You talking about the guy that fought Hashirama? You talking about that guy? Was Kakashi in the
And then not only that, what's even worse, okay, if we even take this even further to even make it backfire even more, Kakashi technically performed better than Seijumo Naruto against the Passive Pains. And hear me out. You guys are probably like, wait, what? Hear me out. He fought Tendo Pain with his powers, okay, and in the Osteopath of Pain, and was surviving pretty good for a good while. He was doing a pretty good fucking job. He lost, but he did pretty freaking good, okay? While Naruto, okay, the moment Tendo Pain got his power back, immediately shitted on him. Immediately. Instantaneously. While Kakashi was actually, like, giving him a run for his money, like, prolonging the inevitable and doing good. I'm talking about his performance against Tendo Pain, okay? And I don't want to hear the whole six pass pains or all that whatever because Naruto had the help of the frogs, the help of Mom and Paul. He had intel on top of it as well. Okay, so that doesn't count either. And that Pain had no access to Tendo power and was extremely fatigued. It's a weaker Pain too. Like Kakashi was fighting a stronger Nagato, right? So there's that too. I mean, he performs even better than Seijumo Naruto, you know, technically. So I'm just saying, bro, you know, like I don't know what he's getting at.
But that's neither here nor there. Okay, that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. That's like
you know, the vibe I get with this guy, and I'm not trying to be mean, but the vibe I basically get with this guy is he's like a rage bait YouTuber or content creator, you know, or streamer. He's a rage bait guy. I mean, he just wants to say shit to say shit. He doesn't actually like critically analyze things before he just fucking says shit, you know? Like he just wants attention, clearly.
Suck a cock.
So, but anyways, if he says anything that's the same stuff, whatever, I'm not gonna go circular with it. I'm just gonna let it go if it's just the same shit and that or the same argumentation that he's presented or just rage bait statements. If he does bring up something else and new, then we'll just keep it going. I don't want to be pausing too much though. Yeah.
Naruto was 1,000% a prodigy. Like 1,000%.
Wrong.
He was 12 years old, 13 years old, banging with ninjas. Like. Not no running, like he wasn't fighting Konohama.
I guess Choji's a prodigy, you know, he was doing the same thing. I guess Ito and Sakura too, you know? Like.
Ninjas, he was fighting the real dealsies. He stood on them, 10 toes on them. What ninja did what Naruto did at 16? None of them.
A lot.
Minato got the best test scores.
Tachi did more. Minato did more. Kakashi did more.
I think Minato a little too much. If I'm saying what I'm saying. What did Itachi do at 16 and what did Kakashi do at 16 that rivaled what Naruto did? Let me just go ahead and say what Naruto did one more time for you guys. Became a perfect stage.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, the glaze is crazy for Naruto.
Fought Madara Uchiha. I don't care if he did it with Sasuke. He did it, and he did that at 16. What would 16-year-old Itachi have done to Madara? He would have stopped his chemotherapy.
Again, context. Naruto had an alien Jesus amp from Hagiromo himself, an alien-ass motherfucker, okay? And he said, here, have my HIV, okay? Alien power. And literally Naruto becomes a fucking god, okay? That's why he could fight Jubi Madara. If you get the same shit to Minato and Itachi, they're doing tremendously better than what Naruto was able to fucking do. 1 billion times better. They would kill Jubi Madara instantly if that fucking happened, okay? Like, so that doesn't follow through or work either. Like, again, context. Like, you can't compare a Naruto that gets fucking Jesus Christ power to a Minato or Itachi that has limitations as a ninja and human being. Like, you know, and then if we're comparing Naruto's 16-year-old self to Itachi and Minato, like to their whatever, blah, blah, Minato shits on Naruto. Minato as a kid, as a teen, fought the full 9 tails. And won. Poisoned, critically injured, fatigued from doing the Rasengan training, okay? And with the incomplete Rasengan, and he beat the full Nine Tails. That same Minato as a teenager could do the flying Raijin and rescue Jiraiya, his sensei, Asaning, from a fucking Biju bomb, from a tail beast. You know what I mean? Like, what are we talking about here? And then we see Naruto getting fucked up by half the Nine Tails with the aid of B and shit, with the aid of his mom. It took him to have all this support and assistance to accomplish the same shit Teen Minato did? Like, what is this guy on about? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? And then don't get me started on Itachi. All the shit he's done, all the records he's broken, all the shit. You know what I mean? You name it. Like the list goes on and on. Like, bro, Itachi and Minato absolutely clear what 16-year-old Naruto was able to fucking do. Like, if we're talking about everything as a whole, they fucking clear. And you can't bring up like false equivalences of performance, like aka the alien amp bullshit, okay? When that's literally like anybody, but you can give that to fucking Ino or Sakura, and they would be beyond and do better than any other fucking person at that point, right? You can't count that. Like that's like having like a UFC fighter and you drug that motherfucker up and give him all the steroids in the world where he's just one-shotting people. Yeah, of course he's gonna be fucking doing insane feats, you know, whatever, in whatever age he's in, whatever, blah blah, because he has something everybody else doesn't have. You know, like, again, critical thinking is just lost.
For a second and went to go see G.O.D. That's what he would have done. What would Kakashi have done at 16? And let's just talk about Naruto's jutsus real quick. This man mastered Rasengan at 12 years. Actually, he didn't even master it because it was an imperfect jutsu. He could make a Rasengan at 12 years old. Brother, what? Rasengan? You mean the S-class jutsu? That only Minato...
A rank, not S-class. Okay. And I would have to say Minato's age, but Minato technically did it first. Or I think at a younger age. I could be wrong in that. Maybe... but either way, it doesn't even matter that Naruto, because even Konohamaru could fucking do it too. Like, Jiraiya's dumbass could do it. Like, if you put in the time and effort, you could fucking do it. You know what I mean? Like, Kakashi could do it, you know. Really, learning the Rasengan is really not that difficult. You just need the intel and the lore, and then just fucking train your ass off at it, right? And until you can do it, you know. It's really not that crazy to do. So just putting that out there. And then even though, yeah, he learned it, even if that was true and he did it at a younger age, his power and proficiency with the Rasengan was nowhere near to the point of like Kakashi or Minato, whatever, blah, blah. Like, theirs is way, way more powerful. Way more potent and stronger, you know, like, and shit like that. Like, compare Naruto's Rasengan to the same Rasengan Minato's doing against Obito. Big difference. You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah.
Jiraiya and Kakashi, no? Are you out of your mind? And he did it in how many days? 3 of them. And Konohamaru. Naruto was so good at a 12-year-old, he learned and mastered a S-rank jutsu and then taught it to a kid. That's how good he is. And he's not a prodigy. What?
No, he didn't teach it to Konohamaru. He literally, like, they actually show that. It was fucking hilarious. He tried to teach Konohamaru, but he didn't really know how to teach him at all. He just, like, says, like, some vague-ass bullshit, whatever. He's like, oh, this is what, you know, steps, whatever. And then literally did absolutely nothing to contribute to help Konohamaru. And Konohamaru had to put in the work and figure it out, and he was able to do it. Naruto had no contribution to... Like, he told him the steps. But again, that just goes to show you how easy it is to do the Rasengan. Like, all you really need to know is the steps and the lore behind it, and then just put in the time, and there you go. Like, anybody could technically do it. Even someone like Killer Bee. You know, Sasuke could even do it if he wanted to. Like, anybody. As long as you know the info... You know what I mean? And then put in the work, you can do it. It's really not that bad.
Stop it, man. The Naruto, hey, man, it gets old. Naruto is a GOAT, and he's a prodigy. He's a Prodigy. He's a prodigal. Nah, just a hard worker. Just a hard worker. Brother, Naruto's not even the hardest worker in his class, let alone verse. Not even in his class.
Like, I'll say this, though. He is funny, though. But he's very, very, like... I'm very concerned for his... Like, I wonder what his IQ score was. Like, deadass. So...
I start nursing school in September.
He's funny, but his IQ is very concerning based upon this video.
Lee is harder working than Naruto. What did Lee do? Did he have some cool moments? Did he drop the weights on him? Yup. Then what? Guy works harder than Naruto. Who's winning, Guy or Naruto? Say Guy. Say Guy. You're wrong. Well, actually, if he goes...
Guy slams Naruto literally all the way until Naruto has Sage Mode. I'm just being honest. Once you get Naruto Sage Mode and like KCM and all that, and then obviously Jesus power, like yeah, Guy can't fuck with him unless excluding Jesus, but Guy technically always beats Naruto because of the 8th gate. Just saying.
You're talking about when Guy, it's a suicide mission and he can literally burn his soul up? Yeah, maybe. You may have a point there. But guess what, though? And then Naruto powers up. Guy never practiced ninjutsu. No, he could do ninjutsu. He just liked taijutsu better. But somebody said he's the hard. It's not because he's a prodigy. It's hard. It's just hard work. Are you out of your mind? Y'all don't think Jiraiya worked hard? And he could never become a perfect sage. That was the whole point of the Toad song. It's because he couldn't get to the finish line. So these two lumpy ass toads were like, why don't we just put our butt cheeks on your fucking shoulder blades and we got you.
What the fuck was that?
Poured it up a little bit, big fat ass nose. Get that yam off your face! Big fat ass nose, become a toad guy, and then we'll win this together forever. Naruto did it and read a book. Orochimaru became Voldemort trying to beat the power level that Naruto had at 11. It's not a competition. That is what I'm saying. I can't debate on what your opinions are. I'm just saying the people that say Naruto's not a prodigy, when Naruto did more than any ninja we've ever seen, ever on screen, canon or not, at a younger age, stop it. 16-year-old Naruto beats 16-year-old Hashirama. Be mad about it. What about plot armor? Everything has plot armor. Every main character has plot armor. Bro had a fat ass boost off Rip, brother. He had a fat ass boost. Oh, off Rip, brother.
It's really concerning. Like I'm gonna be dead ass with you guys. Take away the Nine Tails. Take away the Jesus Hand. Okay? Take away his assistants, aka Kakashi and Jiraiya. Okay? Naruto's not doing shit. He would literally be a failure forever and ever and ever. You know what I mean? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, a prodigy doesn't need assistance. A prodigy doesn't need, trading from other people. They just do it themselves. Like, they're like that, right? Whether they got it because they earned it or not, that's besides the point. Either way, they're a prodigy, right? They don't need help like that. They just do it on their own because they're built different. That they can, right? They're the exception to the rule. That is what a prodigy or genius is. In the real world, like for us, a prodigy is someone that is the exception to the majority or in general, right? Where you have everybody else that has like a average level IQ or intelligence or whatever, or athletics, whatever, and then a prodigy comes along. Okay, let's talk about like physical sports, right, or athletics. A prodigy is a guy that, the guy don't have to work hard, nothing. He's just genetically built different. He can come in that fucking track and just fucking sprint, and he is the best of the best. The fastest times, etc., you name it. And then guess what? If he starts doing a nutrition plan, if he also starts working out just similarly, at least, to what everyone else is doing, nobody's going to ever surpass him or fuck with him because he's just genetically built different and he's aka a prodigy and a genius, right? You know what I mean? Then let's do the intelligence aspect of it, okay? Let's say you have, whether woman or man, whatever, okay? It doesn't even matter about sex. Woman or man, okay? If you were just that smart, if your IQ level is super fucking high, okay, you are a prodigy. Why? Because you are an exception to the fucking rule. You are excluded from everybody else. You don't have to suffer the same boundaries and limitations, etc., okay, because you are just extremely intelligent. So what does that mean? Now you can do all kinds of crazy shit. You can do businesses, you can make things, you can do whatever the fuck you want, basically, right? And you're rich, whatever, yada yada. Must be fucking nice, okay? So again, like, it's very simple to really understand the term prodigy or genius and what that really truly amplifies or means. It's not rocket science. So again, if we're talking about Naruto, take away all his plot armor devices, aka the Nine Tails, okay, aka the Jesus shit, okay, aka any of his assistants. He's not accomplishing shit. Nothing. No Rasengan. No fucking nothing. Better yet, take the scroll as an example that he brought up even before, okay? If he didn't learn about the scroll and Mizuki didn't tell him about that, he would not know Shadow Clone. He'd be failing Shadow Clones to this day. Like, guys, hear me out. He was trying to do Shadow Clones, and he made Ed, and Eddie clones. They looked stupid, okay? He failed the Genin graduation test every fucking time, okay? Then a tuning says, oh, hey, go take the cheat code shortcut route and go read a fucking scroll that tells you exactly what to do, okay? And then he trained, he did it, and now he could do what he couldn't do. Again, needed the aid and help with something, okay? That's like me not being able to do something because of knowledge in my capacity, right? You know what I mean? A mixture of that too, but mainly just a knowledge issue, right? You know? And I can't do something, and then I go YouTube, oh, how do I solve this puzzle in this game, right? And now I see the puzzle, bam, I do it. I just put in the effort, bam, I can do it. Does that mean I'm a fucking prodigy now, or I'm some god tier genius with puzzles and shit? No, the fuck? That just means I just took a shortcut and cheated. It's one thing if he was arguing, like, if Naruto had the capacity to do certain things, right? That's fine. But to sit here and label him that Naruto was a prodigy is ludicrous. That's crazy. Like, what the fuck?
Right? When he became an incarnation of the son of a god, yeah, everybody has boosts. Everybody's got boosts. The only person that...
So how does that make her a prodigy?
is Lee. And that motherfucking ceiling is this high. And he got to there, and that was it. And he can only break the ceiling one time, and then the building falls, and then he dies. 8 games. You're not wrong, Tony. I know I'm not wrong. Y'all cannot tell me that Naruto was not a prodigy. And it sucks because that eliminates his whole talk with Neji when they first fought in the tuning exams. Like, you're talking about prophecies. You're talking about...
Yeah, when the entire narrative is contradicting what you're getting at. I mean, and literally advocating, and Naruto himself says he is not a genius or prodigy, and that he is a failure or a ding-dong.
I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna fix that. Brother, you're the son of the yellow flash of the leaf, and your mother, brother man, a fucking redhead, Kushina, she tamed the fucking Nine-Tails fox. She's an Uzumaki. 1, 2. Your teacher, brother, is fucking Kakashi, who was taught by Minato, who was taught by Jiraiya. Oh, Jiraiya, the third Hokage. Was that Minato's teacher? Or was it Jiraiya? No, the third Hokage was Jiraiya's. Yeah, right. Like, what do you mean? There's no prophecy. There's no, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Naruto was a prodigy, and I don't care how you feel about it. Strongest Naruto character? I can't say anything in Boruto. I'm not too well versed in Boruto land, but I will say that it's a toss up between. Nah, I say it's Naruto. I was gonna say it's a toss up between Hashirama and Naruto, but I think Naruto beats Hashirama. Kaguya for sure.
Why is Hashirama in this? Get Mr. Hash Browns or Woodman out of here. We should be immediately talking about either Naruto, Kaguya, or DMS Kakashi. What the fuck are we talking about right now?
Okay, yeah, Kaguya. I guess
it would definitely be Kaguya, then DMS Kakashi, then Naruto. The fuck are we on about?
I wasn't really thinking about Kaguya. It's between Naruto and Sasuke in my book. And that's the thing. Naruto kept up with Sasuke Uchiha.
Absolutely.
From Madara.
Scratch that. I'm over here tripping. Kaguya, okay. DMS Kakashi. Jubi Madara. Then Naruto. Then Sasuke.
Was like the most, like the best Uchiha there was. He even said if in another timeline I would have picked you over Obito. Sasuke, who has a Sharingan, Naruto was able to go toe-to-toe with the whole series. Naruto at 16 years old was faster than the Raikage, one of the fastest ninjas in the world. Sasuke's a prodigy too. And that's another thing. Naruto held himself back.
Yeah, Sasuke was an actual prodigy, an actual genius that was illustrated throughout the entirety of the narrative. This video's ass. Oh my god.
His goal was to never kill Sasuke. So Sasuke was trying to kill Naruto, and Naruto was trying to hug Sasuke. And Sasuke still couldn't do it. Every clan had a prodigy. It's just that Naruto is the prodigy of prodigies. I would agree. Was Brock Lee a prodigy? Bro had to bloody his knuckles every day to get good. No, he wasn't a prodigy. Lee is the definition of somebody who's not a prodigy. That's hard work. That's determination. That's getting it out the mud. Naruto is a prodigy. Drunk Lee versus
It's not just about saving time, it's about expanding what's possible. We are studying.
The bows guy was tough. The bone guy, you mean Kimimaro? Yeah, that was a stupendous fight. They would have lost though. They would have died. But Kimimaro died right before he could kill them. In fact, no one can work hard enough to get to Naruto's level. It's not possible because he has something no one else has. Yep. I agree in terms of like him being a Jinchuriki. I don't agree with Sage Mode. Kurama made it hard for him to learn Sage Mode. Like literally harder.
That makes no fucking sense. So he conceded and agrees with the whole Kurama shit because someone said literally what I said, right? That's only possible in Naruto being that whatever because he has Kurama and other characters don't. If they had it, they could do the same shit, right? You know what I mean? So meaning his argument doesn't work. And he just agreed to that with Kurama, but he says not Sage Mode. Sage Mode's the same shit! Other people don't have Sage Mode, or their body's not capable or strong enough to withstand Sage Mode, right? So that's why, you know what I mean? Again, it's the same thing. They have something that he has that they wouldn't have, right? But if they had the same thing, then it'd be the same shit. They'd be above, right? And so on and so like, all because you have Sage Mode doesn't mean you're a fucking prodigy. It just means, oh, guess what? You have this really crazy power up. I'll give an example. That's like Deku, right? The one with whatever the fucking power is called, but you know what I'm talking about, okay? Where he was quirkless, literally Rock Lee, basically, right? Had nothing, whatever. Then All Might comes, the fucking god of powers, okay? You know, gives him the most strongest, most powerful fucking quirk, okay? You know what I mean? Of everything, right? You know, here we go, another MC plot, you know, fucking power, okay? And then he gets that, and then now he's doing all the things, whatever, about. Does that make Deku a prodigy now? No! Deku's not a prodigy. He's still a fucking, you know, what he basically was. It's just he was given the power of Christ, and now he can do the things he could never do before, right? You know? So that doesn't work either. You know what I mean? Like, an actual example of a prodigy would be like fucking someone that was already talented and a genius, like super smart, really badass, capable of fighting in martial arts and shit. All Might comes and gives him that power, and he's immediately perfecting that power, using it perfectly. That's a fucking prodigy. Deku was literally hurting himself every time he used the power. His body, he couldn't even figure out how to make his body be like, you know, to be able to contain it and use the power. He can never grasp that. Like, I think even like into the end, okay, to where he's like fighting the bad guys or whatever, he still can't fight. He's gotten better, but he's still ass. He's basically like Rock Lee with the gates. He just gets fucked up when he uses the power, you know? While All Might can do it with no repercussions, you know? And all the other people, girls, guys, whatever, they could use the same power with no repercussions. So, like, again, like, this argument doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Naruto learned and mastered Sage Mode all off the strength of his own and did it at 15 years old.
No, not a strength of his own. He needed assistance and he needed help. And because his body genetically was capable of harnessing that power too. Okay? So no, that's not true either.
But that don't make him a prodigy. What's a prodigy to you? A highly talented child or youth. Is Naruto not that? I think, here's the thing. Something that I've noticed with Kishimoto, the writer of Naruto, is he had tropes that he wanted to impose on people, but like in ways it did, but they weren't like real. Like Shikamaru's laziness. If Shikamaru really wanted to be lazy, he would have never became a ninja. If we really look at Shikamaru, bro was not that lazy. Like, it's the same way that you trying to say Naruto,
but he's still lazy. Like, so that argument doesn't work either. Like,
wasn't a prodigy. Yes, he was. You're born with talent. Skill is acquired. Naruto was born with talent. What are you talking about? At the time skip, he was a prodigy. I just think Naruto was a prodigy no matter what.
Naruto was not born with talent. What are these motherfuckers on? He was not born with talent. He was never born with... The only thing that he was born with was just an exception of what no one else has, but if they had it, they'd be just as capable or more even better, was the reincarnation. Him being born as like the reincarnation of Ashura, right? Who was like the alien, you know, for Hagoromo. That's it, right? But he was not born as like an actual fucking genius.
The fact that he learned Rasengan in 3 days, like, that's crazy. And not only that, Naruto mastered the Rasengan. The Rasengan was a imperfect jutsu that Jiraiya couldn't master, that Kakashi couldn't master, and the creator, Minato, could not master. If y'all remember what masters a Rasengan, because Rasengan is just chakra control. That's all it is. So technically, like, anyone can do it, but you know that really not everyone can do it. That's why you can't copy a Rasengan, because it's just.
He does not know how the Rasengan works. I'm not even gonna get it. This motherfucker literally just said the Rasengan is chakra control. Buddy, I'll give you a hint. It's along with the principles of change in chakra nature and change in chakra form. Okay, no. Naruto literally was shit and ass at chakra control. That was why he even had limitations to begin with. If it was chakra control, he would have never been able to fucking do that.
Controlling chakra, it's not really like a jutsu.
It's change in chakra form, and then with the Raisen Shuriken, you're adding a change in nature and change in chakra nature.
Like forming. So not only added wind style, which is his style of jutsu, he added other styles. I'm talking about customized Rasen Shurikens off the strength of just cause, oh, you're a big tree right now, Madara? Here go a lava Rasengan just for the fuck of it. Oh, you're still here? Here go 2 more for you. You still want to talk? A lightning Rasengan. Lightning, brother, lightning. Rasen Shuriken is Rasengan with wind style jutsu on it. Yes, but it's a perfect Rasengan. Like, for this Rasengan to be perfect, it needs to have a chakra nature in it. That's what makes it a finished jutsu. Like, remember? He's like, oh, this is an imperfect jutsu. Naruto made it perfect. Minato couldn't do it, Jiraiya couldn't do it, Kakashi couldn't do it. Naruto did it, and he did it as a teenager.
So again, Minato could do it, and Kakashi could do it. The only reason why they didn't was because it would take them a very, very long time to grasp and learn it, okay, because of how difficult it was to accomplish, okay? Naruto was able to be the exception to that rule and defy that concept because he could cast thousands and thousands of shadow clones, and even though he's fucking stupid and nowhere near as smart as Minato or Kakashi when it comes to their prodigy caliber and genius intellect, whatever, blah, blah, and to where they can do anything, right? They're always doing all kinds of crazy shit, okay? Naruto can completely just destroy all that, make that shit go down the drain because he literally has the ability to amplify the amount of time it would take you to do something or learn something. So for instance, if it takes me 1,000 years to tie my shoes, okay, but I can make 1,000 shadow clones, okay, and each shadow clone, okay, learning wise, takes a year. There you go. I just casted 1,000 shadow clones, and something that would take me 1,000 years, I just did it in 1 fucking minute or 1 day or 1 week. But you know, that's what I'm getting at, okay? Like, it's stated, it's explained, etc., etc. Not only does he have the chakra and the stamina to do that, okay, but he can cast all those shadow clones. And when you do that, when the shadow clones return to you, everything you feel, everything you think, everything you learn comes right back to the original user, okay? Basically, having that ability to cast that many clones, you can literally learn anything. I'll give another example. To learn every martial art on the planet is literally impossible. Just to master one martial art takes a crazy amount of years. But if you had the ability to cast shit ton of fucking clones of yourself, or shadow clones, okay, and every shadow clone is learning every single martial art there is, now you can learn all the martial arts immediately. Something that would take you way over the lifespan that you would have, and you'd just be dead before you could accomplish that deed, right? You know? Unless you're fucking Batman, a fictional character that can just do it, right? So, again, like, it's very, very logical and straightforward, but he doesn't understand that. Like, Naruto is conveniently given the exceptions, and if any other character was given that, whether they were smart or not, they could accomplish the same fucking deed. If they had the same guidance, the same benefits, they could do the same exact shit. And so again, like, that's for what's in question, that just completely dismantles and counters and debunks this whole Prodigy bullshit, right? Because if Naruto didn't have these benefits or exceptions, and he was just how he was born, right? Like, just what he was, right? With the intellect he has and what he was able to do as a ninja, right? Okay? He would be trash. He'd be fodder. You want to know what Naruto would be? You really want to know what he'd be? He'd be like Konohamaru. Dog shit. okay? Or at least like decent in a way, right? You know, or I wouldn't even say Konohamaru, because Konohamaru is actually pretty smart and pretty capable. Like, he's actually technically better than Naruto. But not even Konohamaru. That's a bad example. But, like, that's kind of close what you can get to. But not even that. That fucking... I don't even know his name. That's how trash he was. The brother of Tsunade or whatever. Or maybe, like... she was, like, a family to Tsunade. But, like, it was exactly like Naruto. The same ideals, you know, personality, whatever, blah, blah. You know? And he died... Like, the motherfucker ran on the battlefield and got blown up by a paper bomb. Okay? And died. That's literally what would be Naruto. That's what would happen. Take away his 9 tails, all the bullshit, the reincarnation, everything, dies by a paper bomb. Okay? You know, like, I don't want to fucking hear it, bro.
I always wondered that because it's literally compatible with every chakra style. Yes, it literally is. And fucking Kakashi, the reason why Chidori exists is because Kakashi could not master Rasengan. Kakashi knows it. He knows it and he showed it. He did it one day. He was like, oh, Rasengan, boom.
On a distant world, you faced the enemy.
Here it is. But I never finished this jutsu because I couldn't, because it was too hard to.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. There's no way this man has almost 1 million fucking subs. What? I'll never understand. I'll never understand it. I'll never understand it. Oh, so he games. W. That's a W, though. But the reason why I'm saying shit right now, I'm talking shit right now, for everything he's saying about Naruto, bro, it just, I don't get it. But he mainly just games. Yeah, he does gaming. He's a gamer. That's a W, though, because it's really, really hard to, like, have a following and be extremely popular gaming-wise. That's extremely fucking hard to do. So you got to give credit when it's due. But as for scaling or Naruto, please, that motherfucker should have only like 10 subs with the bullshit he be saying. Okay, no, with how funny it is, and at least like with the amount of like knowledge he does have, like if I'm being honest, like what he bare minimum deserves, like I'd say like 1,000, 1,000 subs, 2,000, maybe 5K at most, right? 7K, but that's about it. You know what I mean? But that's crazy. I didn't know he had that much. Holy shit. Yeah, he just plays games. So, he does anime reviews, plays games. So, yeah, but yeah, stop the anime reviews, bro, because it's not it. It's just not it, bro.
Made a worse version of it, Chidori.
Almost done.
He made his own. No, he didn't make his own. I mean, he did. But he took every lesson that the Rasengan gave him and then just was like, all right, so let me pour in my chakra into my hand. Let me expand it. Let me make it fucking volatile. And then let me add fucking lightning jutsu to it. That's what he did. Kakashi didn't just go, oh, it's Tuesday. It's a beautiful day. He didn't just do that. Kakashi made Chidori as a kid. Yes, because he learned Rasengan. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, and younger than Naruto.
I know what he did. Motherfucker said Neji was a prodigy, but motherfucker forgot his own defense and then took those Black Rod straight back shots. Yeah, but like he was out of chakra, so he couldn't do the rotation. Are we talking about Naruto or Naruto Shippuden? Because OG Naruto was not a prodigy, but during Shippuden is whenever he became one. I disagree. Naruto was able to use multi-shadow clone jutsu as a child. Full-fledged grown Kakashi, Shippuden Kakashi, could not use that many clones. And it's because Naruto himself had the reserves to do it. The chakra.
Therefore, that doesn't help your argument, though. Because you're saying Naruto was the exception to the rule. Right? That has nothing to do with your caliber as a shinobi. All because you have something that the other person doesn't have, right? Like, does it mean, oh, now you... No, that just means, oh, you are a walking fucking cheat code. And you are the exception to the rule. And you can only do this because you have these reserves or this amount of whatever. If Naruto didn't have that and was the same like Kakashi, he would not be able to do that. It doesn't matter if you're a prodigy or not. Naruto could only do that because of what you just said. That debunks what you're advocating for. That has nothing to do with your caliber as a person or ninja. Oh my god.
That wasn't because of Kurama. Naruto had that much chakra. because of his genetic chakra. Uchihas are prodigies because of their genetic fucking Genkai. It's because they have what? Sharingan. Hashirama and Madara, why are they so powerful? Oh, that's because they're godchildren, literally. If y'all are gonna say, well, he had this because of this, every other powerful person...
And see, that's fine. If he's trying to say, like, oh, why is Naruto so strong and powerful? Because he has this, that's okay. Nobody arguing that. But when you're gonna say, oh, Naruto's a prodigy because he has this... No, that's the opposite. It doesn't help.
And Naruto had some sort of a hack. So either nobody's a prodigy in Naruto, and I'm fine with taking that statement. I'm fine with that if y'all really want to go that way. But that means Madara's not, Itachi's not, Shisui's not, Sasuke's not, Hashirama's not. None of them are prodigies. Except Sakura. Sakura was a prodigy. You're right. She was. She was better at a younger age than full-fledged Tsunade. I'm fine with no one being prodigy.
Better than Naruto at chakra control.
That's because you don't want Naruto to be prodigy. You're a bitch. At the end of the day, we know Naruto's a prodigy because they were afraid to train him, afraid of how powerful he could get. Like, imagine having so much potential they literally try to kneecap you. The end. Exactly. Yes, but you are not genetically a Jinchuriki. Okay, boom. I'm glad you said that. Take away the Jinchuriki part, Naruto still became a perfect sage at 16 years old. 15, actually. 15 years old. And as hard as it is to become a sage,
he's just saying the same
Naruto
shit.
Demon Fox inside his set. Kurama was like, oh, I didn't want you to learn that shit. Fuck that shit. Because I'm here. I am here. Oh my. Naruto was like, damn, so you made it harder on me? He's like, yeah, I don't want you to use that shit. I'm right here. You got a whole battery pack in your chest. You want another battery? You're selfish. That's the greed they talk about in the Bible. That's why it's a sin. Exactly. You can't say nothing about that. You can say Naruto could do a couple of things because he's a Jinchuriki. Most things. He learned Sage Mode. Duh. God, you know why? They take 10,000 years to learn. You've only been here for 4 days. He said, bet.
The perfect morning calls for the perfect, ridiculously craveable pairing. Jimmy Dean.
Excuse me? What happened? What? And then fucking Captain Kurasuchi had to fucking assemble Sakura, assemble. He had to spam that shit. I never even understood how he did that. Like, to this day, I don't really get how he did that. You know what I'm saying? He came in, he had a cool fit on, there was fire everywhere, Ruki was fucking on the cross. He goes, don't worry about it, Ruki, I got it. Ichigo, but you don't have a Bankai. He said, wait, you're not gonna believe what I'm about to tell you. Like, what the fuck? That proceeds to say Naruto had to work harder than anyone. Who had to work hard? I mean, Naruto had to work hard. But if we're talking about who's the hardest worker in Naruto, it's without a doubt Lee. Without a doubt. Oh, we on Bleach now. Yeah, Ichigo is 1,000% a product plugged by Orochimaru, and he had to learn and do everything without his chakra being normal. Exactly. No, the seal was so that the Nine Tails chakra wouldn't leak out. So, like he did a lot of shit alone. But, I mean, I'm not going to say that Naruto was the Nine Tails Jinchuriki, and that helped a lot. Like, I'm not saying that hasn't. Without a shadow of a doubt was a prodigy. I would say Obito is a hard worker too. Yeah. But he does have a busted jutsu, but that's what makes him a prodigy as well. Obito's a prodigy too. Obito went toe-to-toe with Minato at 14 years old.
So, Obito is... like, Obito's actually an interesting one, but I'll say this. Kid Obito is not a fucking prodigy. He was literally Naruto 2.0, but as an Uchiha, okay? He was not a prodigy. Okay, it wasn't until he got, and again, it's always the same pattern, right? Here we go again. It wasn't until he got training from Madara Uchiha, an actual example, okay, an actual genius and prodigy, right? You know, okay, we got training from him, and also training from like Zetsu and the knowledge room or whatever, the fucking intelligence god, okay? To where then he like really, really developed, and you name it, right? And he needed the Hashirama Cells amp on top of it, okay? And on top of it, give him a fucking MS with Kamui? Like, again, you see what I'm talking about? Like, that doesn't actually engage with Obito inherently as a ninja, whatever, blah, blah. Because if Obito didn't have the training from Madara, okay, and Hashirama Cells and Kamui, okay, he would not be able to do what he could do, okay? He would still be the knucklehead ninja that he was, and a fucking, not a prodigy or a genius, whatever. That was literally the entire fucking illustration between him and Kakashi. Kakashi was the prodigy and genius, while Obito was the failure, aka the Naruto copycat, but just as an Uchiha instead. Like, you know, the only Prodigy aspect that Obito had was the Sharingan, right? But that's it. Him as a ninja, inherently, no, he's not a Prodigy, right? So, again, that doesn't work either. It follows the same patterns. What do you know? He needed Madara. He needed the Hashirama cells. So this way he could spam his MS on top of it. He needed one of the most broken fucking MS abilities. Like, come on, bro.
And live to tell the tale. The same Minato that had a flee on sight order from every village that's ever existed. They said, bro, you see the dude with the high top, the blonde guy? If you see him bounce, and half-bodied Obito Uchiha, hadn't even kissed the girl yet, said, did he lose? Yes. Did he die? No. Prodigy. We talking prodigies than Kakashi? Yes. What? Kakashi's a prodigy? Yes. Kakashi, Itachi, Naruto, Sasuke, Obito, those are prodigies. Yes. Yes.
No, I disagree with Obito and Naruto. No.
Oh,
Obito's a little bit more contentious. I'd be more understanding with that, at least, because of the shotting and all that and everything that happened. But again, along with the logic and the argumentation I've already provided, I don't want to go in circular anymore, and so on and so forth. Like, technically, no, he's not a prodigy, right? Because if you take all that away and what he inherently is as a ninja, him himself, right? No. Okay? Naruto, tremendously a billion times worse.
Him out in 5 minutes after not knowing a single thing about Obito's abilities. He had melted. Oh, you're confusing what I'm saying. I did not say Obito was a prodigy because he went toe-to-toe with Minato and won. He's a prodigy because he was 14 years old and went against the most... I'm not going to say I was Hokage at the time. He went against the Hokage, who's also Minato, and lived and ravaged the village. Now, there was, you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, Minato had a whole bunch of shit to worry about. But still, bro, this is a 14-year-old we're talking about. Kakashi and Itachi were assassins in elementary.
Age doesn't matter. Age doesn't matter. If you have all these crazy fucking benefits that nobody else has that allows you to be the exception to the rule and do things that no one would be able to do, right? Okay. Age doesn't matter, right? A fucking 5-year-old could have the same fucking shit and then be able to do it, right? Like, who cares? Like, if you make a 6-year-old omnipotent, you know what I mean? Like, if you just give him the power of omnipotence, like, does that mean, oh, now he's a fucking prodigy? No, bro. He's just a fucking kid. He could be a prodigy, or he could just be a ding-dong, but have the power of a god, right? And there you go. Like, what he's confusing the prodigy, like the word prodigy and like the definite, what it means to him, whatever, he's just making up definitions at this point. What he's confusing is, oh, if you just are really, really strong and really powerful, therefore you're a prodigy. That's not how that works. The fuck?
The ninja world was high-key psychopathic. Yeah, duh. Bro, Sasuke was kidnapped by the Sound Ninja 4. The last Uchiha left. And the fucking president of the village said, yo, you need to get Sasuke back because he has those crazy eyes that only we have. Go get me 5 9-year-olds and let's get this fucking job.
Right here. So, if you analyze the actual definition of prodigy, okay, a person, especially a young one, endowed with exceptional qualities or abilities. Okay? Naruto, okay, as an example, was literally all the time narratively emphasized, okay, to be a failure, right? To not have exceptional qualities, to not have exceptional abilities, right? Instead, he was given these crazy, insane abilities, whatever, blah, blah, right? Except whatever, blah, blah, right? And that's why, there you go, he could do whatever. But he himself, the person, right? Especially a young one, okay? He could not do that. It was the complete opposite during OG Naruto, right? And then you have Shippuden, the same exact shit, okay? The reason why Itachi falls in that example, or Minato, or whatever, or Kakashi, whatever, because they are literally just, that's just what they are, right? They're extremely smart, exceptional qualities and abilities, endowed, they're young, whatever, blah, blah. They have all that shit. It was never just given to them, right? Like, oh, here you fucking go. You know what I mean? Like, that wasn't ever the case. Like, they had that inherently as a person, and then on top of it, then also born with either certain genetics or whatever, blah, blah, that makes them like cracked or whatever, blah, blah, right? You know what I mean? And again, just to further enhance the whole prodigy thing, right? When Naruto, he wasn't like that. That's the problem. Like him himself as a person and young, he was not like that. He was the complete opposite okay? If you want to say the Ninetales is a prodigy or whatever, sure. And I mean, even though the Ninetales really isn't young, but I can understand you advocating for that, right? If you want to say, like, the power of Sage Mode is prodigy-like, sure, right? You know what I mean? Look at Hashira, whatever, blah, blah, you name it, okay? If you want to say, you know, Hagoromo's fucking ninja aids or whatever, prodigy, whatever, sure, cool. But is that Naruto? No, that's the power itself. That's completely separate. That's the exception. Because again, if you give that to anybody else, they'd be able to do the same exact shit or arguably even better, right? Doesn't take away from who they are inherently as a person. Because that is what is in question. Is that person a prodigy? Okay? Naruto is not, you know? You have this too, an impressive or outstanding example of particular quality. An amazing or unusual thing, especially one out of the ordinary course of nature. Okay? So, like, you know, again, like, these definitions all fall under people like Minato, Itachi, Kakashi, things like that. Neji, Sasuke, you know, Shisui. Those are actual fucking examples. Madara, you know, like, Naruto is not. He is not. Okay?
Done. 5'9", bro. Bitch, go get the best of the best of the best. What are you talking about? Set some children. That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, go round up some kids at the playground, get them going. Nah, it's pretty wild. Foreheads can just pull up to your neighborhood and kidnap a child in your face. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, all in all, man, thank you guys for tuning in. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. YouTube, I'll see you fucking next time. Comment down your favorite.
Okay, because he was, like, entertaining, etc., and, like, all the good and the pros, I'm not going to dislike the video. But because it was, like, all the shit he was saying and how ass it was in his argumentation, you know what I mean? It balances out, basically what I'm getting at, right? So I can't like or dislike. You know, so there's that. So I'm just going to leave it there, okay? He was able to balance the scales. Like, his personality, his, you know, his entertainment value, all the whatever, that was great, right? And he does have passion. You can tell he has passion for Naruto too, whatever, blah, blah, et cetera, et cetera. So all those are W's, all those are good things, pros, whatever. Cool. But with his argumentation, the stances he had, all the bullshit he was saying, and then on top of like if he didn't call everyone dumb, you know what I mean? Then I would have been way more lenient, you know what I mean? And just been, you know, just competitive, right? That's it. But the fact that he started insulting everyone that was advocating for the opposite, that's all like, okay, hold on. You know what I mean? Here we go. You know what I mean? But, because you ain't gonna disrespect Swag or me or other people like that, you know? But, better than that, you know? So, again, it was balanced. So, we're not gonna like or dislike, but you guys let me know in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. You are entitled to say whatever you want. Doesn't matter. What's it called? Not gonna judge you for it. I might disagree or agree, you know? But I ain't gonna judge you, you know? What's it called? But you guys let me know what you think. Is Naruto a prodigy or is he not a prodigy, right? I think it's very, very obvious and was extremely emphasized that he was not. You know, it's just flat out starts showing that during OG Naruto when he's a kid, you know? And then it should put it, it's the same fucking dynamic. Exactly the same. Like, it's exactly the fucking same. The guy just continues and continues to get very extremely convenient plot abilities and etc. and all these fucking exceptions to the rule where that's why he's able to go above and beyond and do things that typically other people wouldn't be able to do. Even an actual prodigy or genius, right? Because again, if you're given certain things or whatever, it doesn't matter if you're a prodigy or not, you're just going to be able to do that, right? Because you were given that power or ability. Okay, it doesn't take away that you're not a prodigy still, whatever, you know. There you go, right? Like again, it's like, it's really sick. That's like arguing, oh, Kakashi's not a prodigy because he can't do like all the shadow clones Naruto could do, right? You know, like, or he doesn't have the power of the Ninetales, therefore he's not. No, he's still a prodigy and a genius, right? Like, so that's just who he is inherently as a person. But anyways, but yeah, bye out. Peace.